2026 midterms and 2028 presidential race is already underway. The consultants are already lining up. The same firms that burned through Kamala Harris's entire ad budget and lost are pitching the same governors and senators they pitched last cycle, and the cycle before that, and the cycle before that. The Republican side, it's no different. The same operatives who told you Ron DeSantis was unstoppable, who told you that Nikki Haley had a path, who burned through $100 million of donor money to deliver nothing. They're back. They're taking meetings right now. They're charging retainers right now. It's not going to be different. Not unless somebody outside of the building forces it to be. And that's what Burn the Playbook is for. We're going to cover the races the way nobody else will. Who's taking money from people whose names you would recognize from indictments, not from donor lists? I'm going to name the donors, the ones who fund both sides, because they don't care who wins. They care who they own. And I'm going to do it in plain English. The language a person who works for a living can read on a phone in 20 minutes and walk away knowing exactly who is robbing them and how. I'm not here to commentate. I'm not here to predict. I'm just here to inform. And I'm going to use evidence every Monday and every Friday in the newsletter at burnbook.beehive.com. And we're going to take some extra time here on the podcast when the story needs some air. Because you deserve it. You deserve to know what's going on in your country. Now, I want to end on something personal, because if you stuck with me for 30 plus minutes, you deserve to know what brought me to this moment. And it started on December 2nd, 24 now. Now, to some of you, this is a surprise, and some of you it won't. But at 8:45 in the morning, at the Cannon House office building where I was working, I was the communications director for a senior Democratic congressman. I was arrested. I'd walked through the security line 1,000 times. I'd seen the officers had seen me. We were pretty friendly to each other. But that morning, the x-ray machine flagged my bag. Now, Capitol Police stopped me and they did a hand search for my bag, and they found two magazines of ammunition. No firearm, just ammunition. Now, I had forgotten it was there. I'd honestly forgotten it. And it was a small mistake that had massive consequences. You see, by lunch, I had been fired. What hurt me was not the firing. What hurt me was how. Nobody called me. Nobody from the office I had worked in every day for months picked up the phone. No one waited for a single fact to come in. You see, they knew I had been receiving death threats for my time on air, but they said nothing. That statement went out while I was still in custody. I found out that I had been fired while in a holding cell, unable to respond, unable to explain. And that was purposeful. I was unable to do anything but sit there and watch 15 plus years disappear into a press release that I could not even read on my own phone. And that's the machine I had been part of forever. A machine that processes people the way it processes everything else. Fast, clean, and on a deadline, without the receipts. And on December 2nd, I found out what that machine feels like from the other side of the desk. Now, let me be very clear. The case was dismissed, but none of the outlets that ran the arrest ran the dismissal. Not a single one. And I need you to hear something, because this is where all three stories become one. The black tax is a receipt no one reads. 160 years of extraction, from 40 acres to $600 million, documented, exposed, ignored. Tim Dunn's ownership of a Michigan super PAC is a receipt nobody reads. 99 cents of every dollar from one man. And the filing is right there on FEC.gov. The senator with $375,000 on one Amex is a receipt nobody reads. And the dismissal of my case was a receipt that nobody read. You see, the machine does not distinguish between the black vendor in Detroit who never got the contract, the Michigan voter whose senator is being purchased from a zip code in Texas, and the staffer who got ground up and spit out for lunch. It does not distinguish because it does not need to. The machine is not broken. It's working. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. Process people, extract value, move on, and count on the fact that no one will read the transcript. No one will read the receipt. Well, I worked that machine. I wrote the talking points. I drafted the statements. I sat in the rooms, and I know what it costs to speak from outside the building, because I know what it costs to stay inside. Nobody on the inside is going to fix this. The people on the inside have mortgages. I have one too. And so I had the arithmetic of silence. And I know why people who see the numbers do not say the numbers. I'm not going to stand here and pretend I would have been the exception. I was not the exception. I was the rule until December 2nd. So I'm building something on the outside with the receipts in the plain English, using plain English for the people the machine does not notice until it needs them and then forgets them the moment it doesn't. I know how the machine works because I used to be part of it. Somewhere along the way, the suits in Washington mistook elected office for the country and the country for their own. And they were wrong. We were not built to whisper. We were not built to wait. The playbook is ash. The pen is ours. So let us begin again. I'm Michael Starr Hopkins. This is Burn the Playbook.